Top 10 biggest takeaways from the Texans preseason win. Any concern about CJ Stroud? How about that Tank Dell guy? And how about that swarm mindset? Let's get into it in another live edition of The Locker Room exclusively on YouTube.
Yeah. It's The Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time. Can't stop. Won't stop. Yeah, we top two.
Welcome to The Locker Room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday on 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 610 and the Odyssey app. You can see me right here daily talking about the Texans who finally played a game. And it is preseason, but it is a W. W's are always nice, and sometimes you can find those hidden meanings in the preseason. Subscribe, like, right along. Already did a little live post-game show, had a little bit of a hiccup with the Roadcaster, but it is still up and running. And I want to just start with the obvious, the number one thing that people will be talking about, the number one thing that people wanted to see. CJ Stroud struggles in his NFL/preseason debut. Let's hear from the man himself. This is CJ Stroud reacting to his performance and how he feels it went.
Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. Just kind of a crazy opportunity to be able to go out my first NFL stadium, first NFL game, and there's a lot of things that I've been through to just get to that moment. So it was just special. Of course, just wish I didn't do one mistake on one certain play, but other than that, thought I played solid. Felt good to get hit again. And just get back in the groove. I just think that preseason, that's what preseason is for. It's important just to get back and put your feet back in the water. So I'm not super excited how I played. Didn't get to play a lot, but just get my feet in the water, learn from my mistakes, and just keep growing.
And I agree with that. And I actually was happy to see CJ Stroud get hit a little bit. I know it's not something that I would want to get used to. I don't want to. I damn sure would like to see him play behind that offensive line as little as possible. But I mean, going out there, getting hit, having to fill stuff out, having to extend plays with your feet, which he did a couple of times, which was one of his bigger criticisms. I thought was good. And quite frankly, the interception, it was just a bad read. The safety was sitting there waiting for it. The corner fell down. He probably saw the corner falling down and just didn't really look at the safety. Maybe looked at Tank a little bit too long, but in that situation, I'm sure Bobby Slowick's going to put on the tape and he's going to say, "Hey, see 83 right there in the flat. It's 2nd and 21, 3rd and 21, 3rd and 20, 22, whatever the hell it is. Just dump it down to that 83 and we'll punt and we'll charge it to the game." But I thought it wasn't a good performance. Obviously, nothing to be too alarmed about. At least I don't think. But yeah, he definitely did not look great, but there's not like some sort of QB controversy or anything like that. Takeaway number 2, Tank Dell might be the truth. If you've listened to the practice reports, I've been at every practice. Tank Dell has slowly yet steadily solidified himself as the most complete receiver on this team. Now, there are a lot of guys that will have a lot of different roles, but Tank Dell, he's lining up inside, he's lining up outside. He probably has the highest ceiling, and he just gets open. He ended up with 65 yards, probably could have had 100. Davis Mills missed him low on one where he had some running room, and then he missed him on the deep one on the top of the TV screen on the sidelines. Tank Dell, all he's done is get open. He's gotten open against the Texans secondary, which we think is going to be pretty good. He did it today against New England. It's to the point where I'm almost considering, do I need to draft Tank Dell in like the 10th round or something of a fantasy draft? Like, is he going to be the guy that leads this team in receptions? Because It's not one of those. I keep seeing people in the chat. And by the way, if you're in the chat, go ahead, subscribe, like. When you leave here, go ahead and like the video and comment, put your opinions in there. But the thing about Tank Dell, he's not just some sort of like home run threat. He's not a one-trick pony. He's a guy who runs pretty much any route you can ask to run. He lines up wherever you want him to line up, and he gets open. He has a knack for the ball. And my most encouraging thing with Tank Dell, my favorite thing there was when Davis Mills misfired to him for the third time, but he ended up digging up and getting the catch. He got up and he was like, get it up, throw the pass. And that's a rookie telling a third-year quarterback, hey, man, get it together. And I just think sometimes when certain guys go on a football field, that dog just comes out and the production speaks for itself. But when you have a rookie playing in his first game, his first preseason game, and he's talking to a guy who's a 2-year starter in the NFL, and he's telling him, get it together, that takes a lot of confidence to me. And I thought that was encouraging with Tank Dell. Takeaway number 3, the rookies as a whole look pretty good. Juice Scruggs, first game as a center, probably, I don't know what the communication was. They got through on the sack, a little bit of pressure, probably some things he needs to work on. That's to be expected. CJ had his struggles, but you got a taste of Will Anderson early on, forced the quarterback to go inside. You had Henry Toto. He made a couple of plays, big tackle in the open field on third down. Xavier Hutchinson, he had the catch inside the 5-yard line. Then they threw him the fade. He kind of tripped up a little bit and wasn't able to get that, but he looked pretty good. And of course, Tank looks like he might really have something. So the rookies as a whole, this rookies squad is this rookie group looks pretty good. They look pretty dang good. Someone is saying he said in the interview he wasn't telling Mills to do that. He said Mills threw a good ball. I don't care what he said. It was obvious he was telling him to get the ball up, and quite frankly, it would have been it was necessary because that was a third time that he'd thrown low to him. So I don't care what he said. Maybe he's kind of trying to do that, but yeah, it was pretty obvious what he was saying. Fourth takeaway, the swarm mindset was on display. There was really good recognition of screens. There was a couple of bubble screens that the defense sniffed out. There was traditional screens. The run defense seems to have improved. Whether it was the guys in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, they were playing with the spirit that DeMeco Ryans mentioned earlier this week. You saw guys getting real excited after they made plays. Whether it was the third string DBs or the starters, you kind of saw that. So that's good to see. The discipline of the defense seems to be there. So I thought that was good to see. Takeaway number 5, it was nice to see Stroud get hit and use his legs. I already kind of mentioned that, but I want to reemphasize that. Do I want to see this all the time? F no. But it was nice to see Stroud get hit, use his legs, move around a little bit, fill out the pressure. Seems like that's something that he has worked on and he's done pretty good at. And you saw him spin out a couple times, go to the sidelines. One time he ran it, one time he threw it. That's good to see. And that's something that he's going to do. He probably won't have to do it as much when he has his full offensive line out there. But that was good to see. Number 6, this is just an observation. Don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but sideline Bobby Slowick is going to be on the sidelines. So we are going to see Bobby Slowick, play caller, calling plays from the sidelines. Some guys like it up in the booth. Some guys like it on the sidelines. Bobby, as at least preseason game 1, he is a sideline play caller. So we have that. Takeaway number 7, we had a very animated DeMeco. DeMeco is a very excited coach. He's got a little bit of that Robert Saleh in him, doesn't he, on the sidelines? You can see DeMeco. He can't even hide his smile. He's grinning ear to ear. We get an animated DeMeco. We got a sideline Bobby. takeaway number 8, the eighth biggest takeaway. The running back position seems set. Devin Singletary had a nice little run on 3rd and 1. Last year, any running back 2 down is getting tackled in the backfield there. Devin Singletary made the guy miss, moved the chains. You saw him a little bit in the receiving game. Didn't see Dameon Pierce. And then Mike Boone, yeah, he's your third best back. I don't know if Dare can make the team at this point. I know he's good at special teams. How good is he at special teams, though? Because there was a time last year, and that was a low point, that we were rooting for Dare to get more carries. And, yeah, he kind of stinks at running the rock compared to the other guys. So I don't know what happens with Dare. Maybe he ends up squeezing through, but it's clear who the 3 best backs are. Maybe they want to keep 4 and keep him out there, but dropping pitches and then not being able to recover it kind of seems a little bit tough. Takeaway number 9, Lopez and Heinisch, they're battling. I don't know if both of these guys are going to make the squad. I think that if either one of them doesn't, they're going to find their way on another squad. Kurt Heinisch just plays good when the games are going on. Like in preseason games, Heinisch just seems to find the rock. I know the sack, you can technically give credit to the guy on the outside, but Heinisch just always seems to be around the ball. He blew up a run. He looked good. Lopez forced the quarterback outside the pocket, forced him to throw it away on 3rd down, which I know it doesn't count as a sack or anything like that, but it's really the same type of impact. You basically force a punt by forcing the quarterback to roll out. So Lopez looked good as well. And takeaway number 10, this is a little self thing, but if you follow me and you listen to the show on Sports Radio 610, the Odyssey app, I know preseason gambling is a degenerate activity to some, but if Case Keenum's going to be playing 3rd and 4th quarters of preseason games, betting on the Texans is not the worst thing you can do in the preseason, because he's light years ahead of these guys. He's a veteran. He's been in the league a long time. He knows how to give looks. He knows how to run a huddle. He knows how to play offense. He could perhaps be the backup quarterback on over half the teams in the league. Case Keenum is making that money, man, when it comes to perhaps gambling on preseason. If you want to be a degenerate like myself. Few questions, get them in. Appreciate everyone for coming through. We're going to have a lot to get into on Football Friday, a lot of stuff to get into as this thing continues. And we'll see what happens. CJ Stroud doesn't seem to be too much concern with CJ Stroud. Like I said, I don't mind seeing the struggles too much. TJ says the D-line looked way better than I was expecting. Been hearing good things, but I just didn't know how much it could jump up in one season. The D-line is straight, man. The D-line is very, very straight. Some Texans fan, Johnny Lambert, Kirksey is rehabbing, going to be tough for him to make this roster. It's going to be borderline impossible unless they just really love him and he brings like something that we haven't seen, because this linebacking crew is actually athletic between Cashman. And I'm not counting Christian Harris because he was going to start no matter what. But between like Cashman getting more defensive reps and Henry To'oTo'o, it's just hard to imagine what Christian Kirksey really brings to the table. So yeah, it's tough for him, but I don't know that he makes the squad. People in a Discord I'm in saying O-line is going to be a problem, like we didn't have 3 starters out this game. Yeah, didn't have that, so I don't have any issue with that. RJ says he sees Steven Sims making the team. What do y'all think? No. Maybe he can sneak to the practice squad, but no, I don't see Steven Sims making this squad. Like, who are you leaving out? You got Woods, you got Nico, you got Tank, you got Metch, you got Hutch. Who are you leaving out? I mean, I don't think that he makes the squad. And then you got Noah Brown. Who you putting Steven Sims over? I don't think that happens. Kenyon Green looked a little decent, still got a lot more work to do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make about that. He was fine. But yeah, I don't think there's any threat of Steven Sims making the squad, although he did do his thing. They got good like receivers on the back end. A lot of these guys would have had a chance to make the team the last couple of years, whether it's Bachman, whether it's Sims, Jesse Matthews, who tore his ACL. Even 89 looked good today. So, I mean, this is, and you combine that with Case Keenum. They got some good stuff going on, for sure. With that, appreciate everyone for coming through. Those are the top 10 takeaways from preseason game number 1. Got the joint practice with Miami coming up. Tomorrow we'll react to what CJ Stroud had to say. We'll react to what D'Amico Ryans had to say. And we'll get into a lot of things on In the Loop on Sports Radio 610. The first live, the first pregame show, not the best technical thing. Something happened with the roadcaster, but we are good to go now. And be sure to join the postgame show after. I said pre. Be sure to join the postgame show after every single game. Daily videos coming through. Appreciate everyone for coming through. And when it comes to this Texans stuff, always remember, no matter what happens, no matter who does and doesn't make the team, when it comes to this Texans stuff, we're all in this together. Appreciate y'all for coming through.
Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not 2.